Here we go. Mike Gundy.
Let's try it again.
Very proud of our guys for their accomplishments in a variety of areas from last season. I thought they were fantastic, and looking forward to the season. We're extremely excited, and I feel like that we have the best staff from top to bottom in all the different areas. There's about 78 people that are in our building that work with our players on a daily basis, and I feel like this is the best group that I've had in my 17 years as the head coach. So it makes my job much easier. I'm very excited about it. Looking forward to getting started in a couple weeks.
Okay, we'll take questions for Coach. If you got a question, put your hand up, please. And if you will, please remember to stand up and give your name, and we'll take a question in the middle, right. Hold on a second.
I am a terrible lip reader from a distance.
Let's try it again.
Chris Becker with the O'Colly. Coach, Spencer Sanders coming into another year starting. How have you seen him grow, and in what particular areas do you hope to see him continue to improve on as the season draws closer?
We've been very impressed and excited about Spencer's development. My personal opinion is last year the spring ball that he missed and summer conditioning because of COVID set him back. And I feel like that the 2 months that we watched him over spring ball, he's developed more than he has in 2 years. So we'll find out once the season starts. There's never been a question with his toughness, his commitment, and his competitive nature. I think that Tim Rattay has done a fantastic job of developing him, and he looked very comfortable as we wrapped up spring in the month of April.
Question on the aisle, halfway back on the left.
Hi, Ariana Vidia, Dallas Morning News. What's the dynamic in your receiver room like right now after losing guys like Wallace? And who do you see stepping up?
I couldn't hear.
Yeah, could you
have to
repeat
speak
the
a
question?
little louder.
What's the dynamic in your receiver room like right now? And who do you see stepping up after losing guys like Wallace?
Gotcha. So we have Brennan Presley, who came on and played a considerable amount as the season went on last year, was very young and developed and started making some plays. We have a number of guys that we feel like should develop as the season goes on. We don't necessarily have what would be a marquee player that we have traditionally had at that position at Oklahoma State. It will be very interesting to watch how Tay Martin develops. We feel good about his development after getting into our program, and he's in really good physical condition now. He played last year, started to develop some in the latter part of the season when he finally got in good shape. So we're hoping that those guys will carry us a little bit at that position.
We've got a question on the right side, halfway back.
Hey, Mike, Jenny Carlson with the Oklahoman. Hey, you were in an interesting position with a full leadership change with athletics and the university on July 1st. I'm sure there are challenges in that, having a new AD, a new school president, but do you see that as opportunity? How has that sort of gone? I know we're only 2 weeks in, but what does that look like at this point from your perspective?
Well, there's a lot of things that are very exciting for us. I've had some conversations with Dr. Schrum. I'm looking forward to having many more. You guys know me. I'm going to give you my honest opinion. I think that she's very innovative. I think that she is a good listener. I think she's tough. And I think that she's going to be fantastic for Oklahoma State. Only time will tell, but the time that I've spent with her, I think that she and I have the ability to see eye to eye and will work very well in the future. Obviously, Chad Weiberg's been in our department for a number of years, but he's not been the guy in charge. It's just the way it is. He now is in charge. I'm very excited about that. And I think that we have 3 people that are very interested in coming together as a group and finding ways to continue Oklahoma State football in the past that it's been on and make it even better than it has been in the future. Now, obviously, Dr. Shrum and Chad have other things that are going on, but if you're talking about the 3 of us as a group, with me included, that's the area that I'm looking forward to working with them and making it better than it's ever been before.
We got a question, 3rd row, middle. Stand up if you want to ask your question.
On the horn. There's more of Coach Gundy.
Cole Thompson, LonghornsCountry.com. Coach, just want to get your thoughts on having Colby back for this year in the secondary. What was the process of him possibly going pro? And then to have a veteran secondary this year, how big of an impact is that for you guys?
Well, we're very excited about Colby. I think at one point that, like most young men, he felt like that he wanted to try to move on and make some money playing this game. And then at some point he called and said that he would like to return and develop himself for another year. So he's had a great spring, and I'm hearing great things about him as a leader this summer. And in the Big 12 Conference, having experience in the secondary, particularly at the safety positions and or outside backers, are very important in my opinion because of the fantastic quarterback play and skill that we have in this league. The experience allows those guys to not get their eyes violated a lot in run pass situations, and certainly helps their defense make more plays.
We have a question on the aisle.
Hey, Coach, Chris Budding with ESPN, and what is probably going to be the most obscure question you'll get. Your hair choices have always been a hot topic. What went into the decision to cut the mullet?
If that's the worst question I get today, that's not bad at all. Honestly, when I went into Kathy's, she's cut my hair for 20 years now, and I love her company, but I said, I've got a lot of things going on, so let's try and cut my hair to where I don't have to cut it till the season's over. And she finally agreed to do it. And so we did it. I didn't really think it would be a big deal anymore, but I do get a lot of questions about it. But we've had a lot of fun with it, and I'm hoping that it'll still grow really fast and get back by the end of the season.
You could have given your hair to me, Coach.
Yeah, I could have given it to you.
Okay, all the way back on the right-hand side.
Chris Vanini with The Athletic. Mike, playoff expansion is a topic. Could happen in a few years. You guys have been on in the mix a few years. What do you think about 12-team playoff?
I'll be really honest with you. I know very little about the detail. I've seen just like little things here and there. It's somewhat unfair for me to comment on it. And it's one of those topics that's going to take place by somebody at some particular point, and then we play by those rules. When we decide to be a member, then whatever policies or procedures they have in place, we say we're in, and so that's what we'll do, whatever direction they go with the playoff.
Question over on the far left side.
Hey, Coach. Sam Mays, franchise Oklahoma City. Last year, your offensive line was riddled with injuries. Talk about the experience that those young kids had a year ago and how it maybe has impacted them and benefited them coming to this season.
Well, I'll be real honest with you. It was worse than what you had said. At some point, I actually thought about calling you to see if you could come back and line up and help us some. But by you playing the position, it was really somewhat unfair that a couple of those guys were even out there. They didn't have any experience, their bodies weren't developed, they weren't strong enough. And all of the butt whippings that they took should help them this year. We've had a couple of adjustments. We're already better, Sam, just by depth chart. We're already better. We haven't even played a game yet. We've got some depth, and hopefully we can stay healthy. And if we do, we don't have to play musical chairs, where a guy plays left tackle one play and right guard 2 plays later. So not making any excuses for them, but I think it's important that we all are fair to them based on their situation. And, it's almost like going on the playground in junior high and getting beat up 4 or 5 times. You learn to fight back, or you just keep getting beat up. And these guys got beat up a lot, and I saw them start to fight back in the spring.
We got a question on the front, and then we'll go over to the side. Go, Dean. Up.
Dean Blevins, News 9 Sports. Mike, Shane Illingworth did some really good things for you last year. Haven't heard a lot about him. How do you see him developing, and are there different things in the playbook that he would be able to do that you would utilize?
Shane is doing excellent. Shane is a really good football player with a really bright future. And you've covered us for a long time now, Dean. Our ability to change our style of play based on our quarterbacks is pretty common. And so we have areas that if Shane were in the game, that plays that would be called, that Spencer can execute. Maybe that's not his strong point. And we have some that Shane may execute that maybe not be as beneficial to him as they are to Spencer. So he's been fantastic. Great young man with a great work ethic, and we're extremely happy that he's in our program.
That is a little Mike Gundy for you.